Excuse me. What is it, this thing that you're making on the table today?
This thing right here? This is a wind spinner.
What does a wind spinner do? Is it something for me?
No. A wind spinner. Well, what do you think it does, dog?
Let me guess. It has something to do with wind. It has something to do with spinning. Two things I like very much. But let me see. I don't know.
When the wind blows, this thing spins.
That makes total sense. What is it for?
It's just something that's, cool to look at. People make this stuff all the time. You stick it in the yard, and when the wind spins, it's like lots of colors, and it's just nice to look at. So I guess it's pretty.
And you like things that are pretty? Like me?
I wouldn't call you pretty, but yeah, I guess so. Pretty or useful. Useful would be better.
Are you saying I have no use?
Well, you do. But like a long time ago, people would make things out of, just out of the things they had around their house. They were inventive. So like my wind spinner here is made of straws and pieces of paper, and there's a stick to hold it up. So, I'm trying to do like they did in history a long time ago, was make things like this out of stuff they had.
That is so interesting. I know of a dog who was in history, and he was quite smart.
Really? Who was the dog?
I don't remember what his name was, but I remember he used to get things for people, like medicine, and he could turn lights on and off.
Well, see, that would be useful. That's nice. Maybe you could get me something.
Like what?
I don't know. Like maybe you could get me like a drink from like a soda from like the refrigerator.
Wow, that would be amazing, but I don't think I could do it.
And why not? Like, it's not that hard. You just open the refrigerator and you reach in, get it, and then bring it over to me.
Well, I'm just thinking it's probably too high, and I'm, only so big, and my arms are so little.
Sounds like excuses, dog. You just don't want to.
Oh, no, I would do anything for you.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Do you want to help me make this wind spinner? I'm going to show students how to make one.
I would very much like that. I would like to help you with this project.
Good. Let's start with, why don't you go get me a soda?
I'm going to give it a try.
Okay, here's some of the materials you're going to need. You're going to need some crayons. You're going to need a cereal box. You're going to need 6 straws, some tape, and what I did was I went into the cupboard and I got a small thing of tomato paste, and if you look on the table, you can see a Hershey's chocolate, some kind of chocolate mix. I like the shape of that box, so that's what I'm going to use to trace for the petals on the outside. You can draw something fancy if you want, to make for the I guess we call them flower petals, but they're the wind catchers. So you see I very neatly opened that box. And my son passed me some scissors. Now I'm going to take the tomato paste and draw 2 circles. And you just trace right around it, nothing fancy. And now I'm going to take the Hershey's chocolate and I'm going to trace 5 of these. You can do 6, you could do 8. I just chose 5. I'm going to speed this part up because all I'm doing is tracing it. Alright, then the next thing to do is color. And I just chose to color all the different wind petals different colors. You can choose them, like you would look on the one on the table. I chose 2 different color blues for the petals and some kind of orange and yellow for the middle part. Here you can see I'm coloring the middle part orange, and what I did was I just kind of colored right over the circle. I'm going to speed this up too, just so you don't have to watch me color, even though my coloring is awesome. Okay, now it's time to cut these petals out and the circles. If you have to get a little bit of help from mom and dad, go ahead. Just be very careful with the scissors. Oop, I missed a little bit of coloring. There it goes. Alright, time to cut. And this takes forever for me, so fast forward. Now if you chose to do some different shapes, this is the creative part of it. You can choose different shapes that you think will catch the wind better. Maybe you make these individual flower petals, or maybe you make them squares or triangles, or maybe you want them all circles. Okay, this next part is attaching the straws to the petals. Well, the straws themselves are they're those bendy kinds. So you see here I'm demonstrating the straw bends, comes open. We don't want it to bend though. So we're gonna put the bendy side right on the back of the petal, and then we're gonna put a couple pieces of tape. Now if you're one of my younger students and you have trouble with the tape, if you remember when I came into your classrooms, I showed you a tape trick that you can do with a little pair of scissors and the tape. Just be very careful. The end of the tape has those rigid parts on it. They're for cutting the tape off, and you can cut your finger if you're not careful. Okay, we're going to fast forward through this too because I'm just taping these things down. Okay, it's time to assemble the whole thing. And this part's a little bit sketchy, a little bit dangerous. I'm going to poke a hole right in the middle. So I came up with this little trick. You take your tape dispenser and we're going to poke a hole right there in the middle. What you're going to do is you're going to put it right over the top of the hole in the tape dispenser and then poke your hole. And you're going to push the whole thing through. Be careful you don't stab your mom and dad's table. And there you go. There's a nice hole right in the middle. Best you can do. And now we're going to put a hole in the second circle one. So I put them right over the top and poke the hole right through there. There you go. Okay, the next step is attaching the pedals. Now we're going to attach them in a way that allows the tape. You're just going to put one piece of tape on for now, for each one, and then I'm going to show you exactly what shape you should tape it. What am I doing here? Oh, I forgot. I want to cut those straws. So I'm taking off about 2 inches. Whoa, you see that thing flick? We're taking off about 2 inches, and then once I cut the one, I can use it to tell me how to cut all the other ones. I don't have to measure it or anything. Just cut off a little bit. And now we're going to make that the same for all of them. You can see how I'm doing it. What's really cool is every time I did this, it kind of flicked. Well, except for that one. Every time I did it, it kind of flicked the straw away. Whoa. Oh. There, I flicked it myself. Okay, now we're going to arrange it. And there's a really cool arrangement for these that I've come up with. One piece of tape is all you need for each one, because we're going to turn these a little bit so they catch the wind. Right now we're going to put them on flat, but once we get outside, we're going to have to turn them a little bit. Because I'm going to show you in a second. After I back the camera up and the camera fell over, you'll see that it takes on a shape, the shape we're trying for, so that you get these evenly spaced. Okay, so here goes the camera, and blah, 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 it fell over. And there's me. Okay, so now, and we gotta get the lighting right. So now I'm pointing to it. It's a head and 2 arms and 2 legs. So here's the next part. We're going to put a hub or the middle part on the back now, so that the 2 holes line up. And this is what we're going to kind of hold both sides together. And you see what I'm doing? I'm taking the piece of tape and I'm winding it on itself. I'm making like a loop with the tape. And then I'm just kind of sticking it in the back. Be careful not to cover up the hole at all. And you'll see when I put down the back on another side here, just kind of holds everything in place. There's the one with the big hole in it, and there we go. I just kind of laid it right over and pushed it down. And now we have the back and the front. I think it looks pretty cool just like that. Okay, this was just one of the ways that I came up with making it so that if you guys have different materials at home, this is where you can do something different here. All you need is an L-shaped something. So if you have some kind of, I don't know, plastic kit in your room, like Legos or some kind of building kits, if you have pieces of wood at home that are L-shaped like this, or maybe you have a piece of metal that's out in the garage, it's not sharp, you know, you could use this as your L-shaped hub, and of course I think that would work really, really well. This thing with the straw, this worked pretty good. So the next thing I'm doing is I made the L shape, and now I'm taking a regular piece of straw, and that's the middle part. That's one of those ones that we just cut off the ends earlier. We're taking that, and I'm just folding it in half, because you can see what I'm going to do with it. I'm folding the in half, and I'm going to stick it right in the end of the straw and push it so that it kind of goes right there, and then that's going to actually hold my straw in an L shape. See, that makes it a little bit stronger. Okay, the next thing that'll make it stronger is I want it to stay like an L. So I'm going to take a piece of tape, put it on there. Oh, I could have done a much better job actually videoing this for you. But you get the idea. I'm going to put another piece of tape on there too, because we want it to stay right in place, and I think I get a little closer on this one. Oh yeah, look at, I knew I did a bad job videoing that. There we go. Okay, we're almost done. Now we're going to stick it right into the hole. And one little tip for you, it went in there really easy, but I could have made that hole a little bit bigger. So if you take a pencil and you stick it through there and you just kind of whip it around in a circle, that'll make it a little bit bigger. But at this point, oh, what is wrong with my lighting? There we go. I'm trying to fix it. Yeah, it's not fixed. There we go. I just stick my big finger in the way. There we go. So now at this point it will spin. Look at this. I'll get my hand out of the way. Oh, come on, hand. Alright, and the last step. I went out and found a stick in the yard. If you have a stick of your own, maybe a piece of plastic like this, fantastic. You could probably use a yardstick. I just use a stick off the bush and I tape it on there just to make it bigger. And that's it. This thing's ready for the wind. Sorry guys, if you hear that car, that's I'm outside. All right, and it's ready. Last step is, once you get it on there, you're going to want to cut. You just kind of cover the very front of the pole that's coming through, the straw that's coming through. I notice I'm just putting it on the end of it. That stops this thing from coming right off. You're also going to see that I had a bread tie on there, something from a hot dog roll thing. That thing didn't work, so don't put one on yours. It stopped it from, every once in a while it stopped it. At first it was working, and then, yeah, don't put that thing on there. But that's part of the design, you know, you find out what works and what doesn't work. And so here it is. And you can look at it and see, oh, well, I kind of taped it right to the porch. And no wind blowing on it at that point. Later on in the night it's sitting there, and you can see now that I've taken the petals and I've kind of turned them a little bit. And I took off those bread things that I told you I put on earlier. And watch this puppy go. Whoa, baby. Okay kids, the last part is I wanted to show you some real ones. If you put in a search on your iPad and you look up wind spinners, these are just some examples of ones. They're made of metal, and some of them, I think this one's made of wood here. No, I think that's metal still. Look at that one, looks like little cartoony pictures. And this next one's just something called a pinwheel. You've seen those before. I found this video of wind spinners, has this sweet music. That is not me playing it. Look how pretty these are. That's crazy looking, right? People are amazing.
Woo. I'm hot. That was fun. That was a hard project to try and get it to work. Where's the dog? Dog!
Let me just tell you something, brother. That was hard. That was hard to get that for you.
Well, thanks, dog. I really appreciate it. Wait, why is it open?
Well, I tried some, and it was really good. So can I have some more? Can I have some more? Delicious.
Yeah, but how is that helping me now? I don't have any.
I will have to go get you another one. So sorry.